Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Wednesday the 12th of April 2023. It's my Sudoku at bedtime, and for today's game I've chosen the New York Times medium level puzzle. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the LA Times or the New York Times, they have levels. New York Times has easy, medium, hard, and the hard game is nearly always tough, but quite often the medium level game can be very tough as well. Quite similar to the LA Times that has its expert level game, and then below that they have the hard level game, but sometimes the level of difficulty is reversed and the hard game is actually more difficult than the expert level game. It certainly has happened on multiple occasions, and so this might not be an easy game. Despite its title, it might actually turn out to be trickier than the hard level puzzle. It's certainly possible. It's late night here, and but I don't have to get up tomorrow because it's 3-day holiday until Monday, really, when people will start back to work, and some people will not get back to work on Monday because often people go back to work very slowly after the New Year celebrations here. In Thailand, that's a common thing that I've noticed in the past 35 years. I'm trying to decide whether I should take part in the festivities or not. I actually really love the New Year and the fun that can be had with the water fights and stuff like that. For those of you that don't know, Thailand's New Year is noted for its water fights, water pistols and stuff, buckets of water and small bowls of water, and apart from its more traditional or simpler or let's say less violent, less aggressive water pouring onto monks or Buddha images and things like that, and elderly people. But we haven't had any for the last few years because of COVID. But I'm just wondering whether or not the situation with COVID is still okay enough now that we can be confident that we're not likely to catch it if we're in a large group of people. Sometimes some areas of Bangkok are likely to be very, very populated, heavily populated. I think it's probably going to be okay to play in less populated areas where you don't run into quite so many people and don't have to take a slightly less of a risk. It's always the risk versus reward. We have to consider this in life all the time, don't we? Risk versus reward. It's a constant theme in life. What's happening in the news? I see a non-story, really. I thought it was a bit of a non-story, and that is the lack of surprise that the US is spying on its allies. Apparently, some classified documents were recently found online in some kind of video game chat room or something like that. Which made me laugh, of course. And but the documents contained information that apparently America is spying on its allies. Well, of course, and I'm sure America is not the only country that does it. I'm sure that all of these countries spy on each other, whether they purport to be allies or not. Absolutely, they don't really have perfect friends when it comes to world power, global power. Countries are always in it for themselves. I think that's as far as you can. I think you can say that about just about any country, really. Okay, let's get on with the game of Sudoku. Like I said, medium level, New York Times, and very similar to the harder level New York Times. I've spotted a New York Times style thing. Look, I've seen the 2 and the 5 blocking across this row here, which is going to put 2 and 5 into these squares here. And guess what? We have a blocking 2 here, so we can immediately start with a 2 here and a 5 here, in a typical New York Times style thing. And then we've got the 2 and 5 here and 2 and 5 here, so those are going to block along there. So we're going to get 2 and 5 in these squares here. How does that help us? We have 2 and 5 over here, so here we are going to have 4, 7 and 8. 4, 7, no 8. Okay. 4, 7 and 8. What else do we know? We know that the 9 will appear in one of those squares. And maybe we don't know much else. Okay. Anyway, 6 up there. So we got 9s there and 6s there. Okay, let's look for easier things first of all. No point in looking for the tricky stuff first. What is missing from here? We are looking for 4 and 7. So we have the 4 blocking up here. Let's put the 4 in here and say 4 blocking down here and across these 2 rows. Give us a 4 in this square. And hang on, let me just double check this first before I go on. This was 2 and 5, wasn't it? So now when the 4 blocks across here and 4 blocks up here, we know that that must be a 4 there. 4 down here, 4 up here, 4 across here. That gives us a 4 in that square. And this will be a 7. Oh, I can hear a very deep throbbing sound. Maybe the parties have started already. It's quite possible. There will be some late night parties this evening, since the kind of New Year is just about underway now. I guess at midnight, technically. Some people will be out celebrating ahead of time. Yeah, I can definitely hear boom, boom, boom. heavy bass sounds. And I don't live anywhere near any places that should have that kind of sound. Right, where are we? Come on, get thinking now. Okay, so we have 6 in these squares. We have 8s in these squares here. We have a pair of 1s there. 5. Okay, let's go through the digits and see if anything jumps up at me. So actually, I can get this square, can't I? I've just realised 1, 6, and 9 across here. We have 1 blocking up here, right? So 1 is in one of these squares, so that blocks here as well, and the 6 blocks here, and the 9 blocks up here. So we have 1, 6, and 9 in those squares. Now, I can't say which is which because 1, 6, and 9 are in different columns, but I can at least get this square here. That's got to be a 3. 3 blocks across here and across here. That will give us 3 in that square there. Now this was 2 and 5, so over here we're looking for 1, 8, 9. 1, 9. The 8s don't know yet. Right, now I was about to look in various quarters, so let's do that. Okay, just an FYI here. The 5 blocks down here and across here, so FYI, 5 is in one of those squares, blocking across. So we've got 5 in those squares, but in this column we'll have 5 in those squares there. What else is in this column? 1 and 6, right? And the 1's still possible like that. and the 6 is down here. Okay. Okay, so we have the 9 blocking down here and across here, so that will give me a 9 here. Then we have the 3s blocking down here like this, putting a 3 into that square. Can we do anything else with this 9? Yes, we can. 9's blocking across here and down here. Gives me a 9 there. 9 up here, 9 up here. That puts the 9 into that square. Okay, the missing digits here are 7 and 8. So we have a blocking 7 there. There's our 7. There's our 8. We have 1 up here, 1 across here. That gives me a 1 in that square. And the missing number from this row looks to be an 8. Which will also put 8s down there and there. If that helps anybody. Don't know. Missing digits up here are 2 and 5. Can't say which is which just yet though. Hold off on that. Meantime, 1's blocking down here and across here. Give me a 1 here and 1 across this row, and this row puts the 1 into that square. 1 up here gives me a 1 here. Missing numbers down here I think are 5 and 6, aren't they? Yes, they are, and I can't see which is which, so this has to be 2 and 7, and I can't say which is which there either. Oh, okay. Can I finish the 1s? No, not yet. Can I finish the 2s? Don't think so. I don't have any completed digits yet, by the way. I'm still searching for that first finished digit. I see 3s appear here and here. Now 5 across here and 5 down here means that 5 is in one of these squares here, right? Blocking across. Now remember, 5 is one of these squares here, blocking down, so that has to be our 5. And now we can get the missing number, which is 6 here. 6 blocks across here and down here, but you'll notice that 6 also blocks down here, so in this bottom row, alright, so this 6 blocks this square, so in the bottom row here, 6 must be in that location, and 6 up, 6 down, 6 across. That gives us a 6 here, and now we can go back this way and say 6 must be in this square, and 5 will be in this square. And I still don't have any completed digits. How about that? It's really hanging on there. All right. Can't finish the ones yet. Can't finish the twos yet. No, not with the threes either. Sorry, I was away looking at other things there, which didn't come to fruition, unfortunately. Fives, no, still some work to be done. I'm sure there's got to be I'm going to come across a number in a minute. I'm going to find there's an easy one somewhere. I'm pretty confident of it. There's got to be one somewhere. Okay, this will do it. 8 across here and 8 down here. Puts 8 into one of these squares, blocking down. 8 blocks down here and 8 blocks across there. I knew there had to be an easy one somewhere. 8 across here, 8 across here. Here's the 8. So what's missing across here? We're looking for 2 and 7, right? That's 2 and 7 missing there, so that's got to be 2 or 7, and no help on 2 or 7 up there either. Okay. But we do have 3 blocking down here and 3 blocking across here, so we can at least get our 3 there. Then 3 across here and 3 down here. 3 fits there. 3 up here, 3 down here, and 3 across here means that that's our 3. And I still haven't got a finished digit. I'm about to. I must. Surely I'm going to get one here. But I've got this far in the game. Look, a huge number of digits filled in and still haven't got a completed digit yet. This is about to be my first. There we go. 3, first one to be finished. We have 7 blocking this square and 7 blocking this square. So in this column, that's where the 7 goes. This will be our 2, and of course 2 will finish the row here and 7 will go there. The sevens that block across here mean that this is 7, and we can't finish the 7s because we're going to end up with them in those squares there. So now we can get this square here. All we have to do is work out what goes here, which is in fact 2 and 8, and we can get the 8 blocking across here. Let's put the 8 in first before we do anything else, and let's put the 2 in now before we go further. And then we'll get our last number, which turned out to be a 5. So 5 blocks up here, and there's our 5. Then the last number to get here is a 2. Right, now there's just one number missing in this row. I believe it's a 9. Let's try it. Okay, then 9 up here, and across here. So there's our 9. Missing numbers here and here now are 1 and 2, I believe. No, that's not right. 1 and 6. Proof that I never cheat or have these games ahead of time. You can see I make so many mistakes along the way. I really couldn't be cheating. If I was cheating, I'd be doing a much better job. 6 goes here. The missing number here is 5, I think. 5 blocks up here, 5 blocks across here. Here's our 5. Missing number here is 8, I think. Okay, now we have 8s to the top. That gives us an 8 here. Missing numbers here are 4, 7. 7 blocks up here. Here's the 7. Here's the 4. 4 down here. 4 up here. Here's our 4. 1 number for this column. Are you a 7? I believe you are. And the missing number here, 2. 2 blocks up here. That gives us 2 in this square. And 1 finishes the game. That's our New York Times medium level game. Definitely not an easy level game. I think, yes, well deserved medium. Thank you, New York Times, for your contributions. And thank you, fellow Sudokans, for joining me yet again. And I'll see you in the new year, which is tomorrow for me. Bye bye.